Every great relationship begins with self-respect. When you know your worth, you carry yourself differently. You don't tolerate mistreatment, you don't settle for less, and you don't need validation from others to feel complete. Confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about self-assurance. It's the quiet understanding that you bring value to the table, not because someone else says so, but because you recognize it within yourself. People, especially men, respond to that energy. When a woman walks into a room with certainty, when she speaks with conviction, when she operates from a place of self-love, she commands respect effortlessly. It's not about being the loudest or the most dominant. It's about embodying an inner strength that says, I know who I am, and I am enough. Men are naturally drawn to women who exude confidence, because confidence signals stability. It shows that you don't need constant reassurance, that you are secure in your own identity. This doesn't mean you don't have moments of doubt or vulnerability, but rather that your self-worth isn't dependent on external factors. When you value yourself, you set the standard for how others should value you. You don't allow yourself to be treated as an afterthought. And you don't engage in relationships that drain your energy. You understand that a queen doesn't beg for love, she attracts it by the way she carries herself, the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. All of it reflects the way you see yourself. When you walk with confidence, when you express yourself with certainty, and when you refuse to shrink yourself to make others comfortable, people take notice. The respect you receive from men starts with the respect you have for yourself. You said, ChatGPT said, setting clear boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about defining how you deserve to be treated. A woman who establishes boundaries communicates self-respect, and that respect is mirrored back to her. Boundaries create structure in relationships, making it clear what is acceptable and what is not. When you confidently express what you will and won't tolerate, you attract men who respect those limits and filter out those who don't. Many women fear setting boundaries because they worry it will make them seem difficult or high minimal. But the truth is, boundaries do not push away the right people. They only push away those who were never meant to stay. A man who truly values you will appreciate your self-respect, not resent it. He will understand that a woman with standards is a woman of value, and he will step up to meet those expectations rather than try to tear them down. Setting boundaries is not just about saying no to things that don't align with your values. It's also about reinforcing the things that do. If you expect honesty, consistency, and respect, then you must uphold those standards in your own actions as well. A man will treat you as you allow him to. And when you make it clear that certain behaviors are unacceptable, you force him to either rise to meet your standards or walk away. Boundaries should not be vague or left up to interpretation. They should be communicated clearly and confidently. If something bothers you, address it. If a pattern of behavior makes you uncomfortable, acknowledge it. The more consistent you are with reinforcing your standards, the more men will recognize that treating you with respect is not an option, it's a requirement. You said ChatGPT said feminine strength is often misunderstood. Many assume that power comes from dominance, control, or aggression, but true strength lies in grace, emotional intelligence, and the ability to inspire rather than demand. A woman who embraces her feminine strength understands that she doesn't have to compete with a man to earn his respect. She naturally commands it by the way she carries herself. Men are drawn to women who are in touch with their femininity because it brings balance. Feminine energy is nurturing, supportive, and magnetic. It doesn't mean weakness. It means having the wisdom to know when to push and when to pull back, when to stand firm and when to allow space. A woman who embodies this strength doesn't need to prove herself constantly. Her presence alone makes an impact. This kind of strength is evident in the way she speaks, with warmth but also certainty. It's in the way she listens, not just hearing words, but understanding intention. It's in her ability to remain composed in situations where others might react emotionally. A woman who is in control of her emotions is powerful because she cannot be easily swayed or manipulated. Being feminine does not mean suppressing ambition or independence. It means understanding that power is not just in what you say, but in how you say it. It's in the quiet confidence of knowing your worth without needing to announce it. It's in being kind without being a pushover, soft without being naive, and strong without being harsh. A woman who embraces her feminine strength creates an environment where a man feels inspired to step up, to lead, and to protect. Not because she is incapable, but because she allows space for both energies to thrive. You said, ChatGPT said, effective communication is one of the most powerful tools a woman can have. The way you express yourself shapes how others perceive you and how they respond to you. Men respect women who communicate with clarity, who say what they mean and mean what they say. There is no need for mind games, passive-aggressive hints, or expecting someone to read your mind. When you express your thoughts, needs, and boundaries with confidence, you eliminate confusion and command respect. Many women fall into the trap of expecting men to just know what they want or feel. But men are not mind readers, and expecting them to understand unspoken needs often leads to disappointment. A woman who communicates clearly removes the guesswork. She states her expectations without fear of being too much, and she voices concerns without hostility. She doesn't nag, she doesn't manipulate, she simply speaks with directness and grace. Tone matters just as much as words. Confidence doesn't require raising your voice, it requires certainty in your delivery. Speaking with clarity means articulating your thoughts without hesitation or unnecessary apologies. It means standing by your words and not downplaying your emotions just to keep the peace. Men respond positively to a woman who communicates in a way that is honest, firm, and emotionally balanced. Listening is just as important as speaking. A woman who listens with intent, rather than just waiting for her turn to talk, earns respect. She understands that communication is a two-way street, and she values understanding just as much as being understood. When you communicate with clarity, both in what you say and how you listen, you create relationships built on trust, respect, and deeper emotional connection. And you said, ChatGPT said, the way you carry yourself, the standards you uphold, and the energy you bring into relationships all stem from the respect you have for yourself. When a woman values herself, she naturally commands respect from men because she sets the tone for how she expects to be treated. Respecting yourself means knowing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less than what aligns with your values. It means not tolerating mistreatment, manipulation, or half-hearted efforts. A woman who respects herself does not beg for attention, chase validation, or accept inconsistency. She moves with confidence, understanding that if someone cannot meet her standards, she is willing to walk away. The way you take care of yourself, mentally, emotionally, and physically, also reflects your level of self-respect. You prioritize your well-being, maintain your boundaries, and invest in your growth. A man observes how you treat yourself and mirrors that treatment. If you constantly put yourself last, he may take you for granted. If you allow disrespect, he may continue to test your limits. But when you carry yourself with dignity and self-love, it becomes clear that anyone in your life must meet those same standards. Self-respect is not about arrogance, it's about self-awareness. It's understanding that you deserve consistency, effort, and appreciation. When a woman respects herself, she doesn't need to demand respect. It's given freely because those around her recognize that she will accept nothing less. You said ChatGPT said, a queen never chases, she attracts. She doesn't run after attention, love, or validation because she knows her worth. Women who understand this principle naturally draw men towards them, not through manipulation or games, but through their energy, confidence, and presence. Attraction is about becoming a magnet for the right kind of treatment by embodying the qualities that command respect and admiration. Chasing often leads to imbalance. When you pursue someone who is not meeting you halfway, you signal that you are willing to accept less than what you deserve. You overextend, compromise too much, and place your value in someone else's hands. A woman who does not chase, however, creates an environment where a man must step up to earn her attention. She moves with certainty, knowing that the right person will recognize her value without her having to prove it. Attraction is built through confidence, emotional stability, and a sense of purpose. A woman who is fulfilled in her own life, who has passions, goals, and interests outside of a relationship, naturally becomes more desirable. She does not rely on a man to complete her. She invites a man to complement her already fulfilling life. This energy is irresistible because it creates a sense of challenge and intrigue men are wired to pursue. When a woman positions herself as the prize rather than the pursuer, she shifts the dynamic in her favor. She engages with those who put in effort, who show consistency, and who respect her boundaries. By focusing on being the best version of herself, rather than chasing validation, she creates an undeniable pull, one that makes men not only want to be with her, but also work to keep her. You said 7. A woman who supports a man's purpose doesn't lose herself in his journey. She walks beside him while continuing to pursue her own growth. She respects his ambitions and acknowledges his goals, offering encouragement and insight without trying to take over. She becomes a source of strength, not by carrying his burdens for him, but by reminding him of his own ability to overcome challenges. This kind of support is not about blind submission or sacrificing one's own dreams. It's about mutual empowerment, helping each other rise, while maintaining individuality. A man who feels supported by his woman sees her as an essential part of his life, someone he trusts, values, and wants to protect. He feels safe in her presence, not because she does everything for him, but because she believes in him when he doubts himself. Men respect and cherish women who bring peace instead of pressure, who uplift instead of compete, and who inspire instead of control. A woman who supports a man's purpose without losing sight of her own creates a dynamic where both partners thrive, making her not just a companion, but a queen in his eyes. He said, 8. ChatGPT said, Instead, she navigates challenges with composure, knowing that true strength lies in how she responds, not in how loudly she reacts. Men are naturally drawn to women who bring a sense of peace rather than chaos. A woman who is emotionally balanced does not create unnecessary drama or seek validation through emotional outbursts. She expresses her feelings clearly and directly, without resorting to manipulation, passive aggressiveness, or emotional extremes. When she is upset, she communicates rather than lashes out. When she is hurt, she processes her emotions without making rash decisions. This level of self-control does not mean suppressing emotions. It means understanding them. It means taking a moment to breathe before responding, recognizing triggers, and addressing concerns from a place of self-awareness rather than insecurity. A woman who masters this skill becomes incredibly attractive because she offers stability in a world filled with emotional unpredictability. Men deeply respect and value women who can handle adversity with a level head. They appreciate a woman who can support them through challenges without adding unnecessary stress. When a woman cultivates emotional balance, she sets a tone of maturity and wisdom, making her presence in a man's life not just desirable, but essential. You say, 9, ChatGPT said, appreciation is one of the most powerful ways to inspire a man to treat you like a queen. Men, like everyone else, want to feel valued for their efforts. And when a woman acknowledges and appreciates what he does, it encourages him to do more. Genuine appreciation is not about excessive praise or flattery. It's about recognizing his actions, efforts, and intentions with sincerity. Many women focus on what they are not receiving rather than what they are. They set high expectations, which is important, but they forget that reinforcing positive behavior strengthens the relationship. When a man feels unappreciated, he may withdraw, feeling as though nothing he does is enough. But when a woman expresses gratitude, whether for his support, his protection, or even the small gestures, it motivates him to keep showing up in a meaningful way. This does not mean lowering standards or accepting the bare minimum. It means understanding that men thrive in relationships where they feel respected and valued. A simple thank you, a word of encouragement, or acknowledging his efforts can make all the difference. Appreciation creates a cycle. When a man feels valued, he naturally wants to do more to make his woman happy. The key is to balance appreciation with expectation. A woman should never settle for less than she deserves, but she should also recognize and celebrate when a man is making an effort. The more she appreciates his positive actions, the more he is inspired to continue treating her like a queen. You said, 10, ChatGPT said, walking away when necessary is the ultimate display of self-respect and power. A woman who knows when to leave a situation that no longer serves her commands the deepest level of respect. She does not beg for love, tolerate mistreatment, or stay in relationships that drain her. Instead, she understands that her value is not tied to how much she can endure, but to how much she refuses to accept anything less than she deserves. Men respect women who are willing to walk away because it signals strength and confidence. It shows that she is not afraid of being alone, that she does not cling to relationships out of fear or desperation. A woman who is willing to leave when she is not valued teaches others how to treat her. She does not stay in a place where she is disrespected, ignored, or taken for granted. Instead, she sets the standard that if someone wants to be in her life, they must step up. Walking away is not about playing games or manipulation. It is about making a conscious choice to protect one's peace, dignity, and happiness. It is recognizing that sometimes the strongest move is to remove yourself from a situation that is not aligned with your worth. A woman who can detach when needed does not lose. She gains clarity, self-respect, and the ability to attract a man who truly values her. The ability to walk away is what separates a queen from someone who settles. It is a quiet but powerful statement that says, I know what I bring to the table, and I will not stay where I am not cherished. You said, also give me conclusion for whole this speech. ChatGPT said, a queen is not crowned by others. She crowns herself through the way she carries herself, the standards she upholds, and the energy she brings into every relationship. The way men treat you is a direct reflection of what you accept, what you reinforce, and what you embody. When you know your worth, set clear boundaries, and embrace your feminine strength, you naturally command respect. When you communicate with clarity, respect yourself first, and focus on attracting rather than chasing, you shift the dynamic in your favor. When you support a man's purpose without losing your own, maintain emotional balance, and express genuine appreciation, you inspire him to treat you with the love and admiration you deserve. And most importantly, when you recognize when to walk away, you show the world and yourself that your value is non-negotiable. The truth is, being treated like a queen is not about demanding royal treatment. It's about embodying the qualities that make that treatment inevitable.